Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Grow and Clip Bonsai for Seniors. Today we're going to do What Did Roy Bring? But today is July 18th of 2022. It's a Monday. It's 71 degrees Fahrenheit or 22 degrees Celsius. It might be a creeping juniper. It's blue, but there's nothing written on the label. But before I start, if you can read it, Spencer and Cole from SNC, they do a great little bonsai video. They're two youngsters with their mother that run bonsai nurseries by themselves, so give them a view and get them check out their bonsai trees for sale. They got some good stuff. They're two youngsters and they're real good at what they do. But today we're going to add the soil. I'm going to use 4 parts pine bark, 2 parts sand or torpedo sand, 1 1/4 parts worm castings. That's because it was a little bit higher than the container I had it in. 1 part peat, and I got my Azus and Mikus. Let me put it down over here. And I washed the pot in Dawn dishwasher soap. I mean, not dishwasher, but dishwashing soap, because it cleans my pots pretty good. And I figure if it's safe for the animals that during the oil spills, how they wash them off, hey, it's safe for the plants. So here is what the tree looks like. It is soaking wet. So in order to see what I'm pruning, I had to put it a pot here and lift it up so I can see what the heck we're doing. So I got my ironwood waist apron on. Very good apron. If you want a good apron, hey, Christmas is coming up, buy it for your loved ones. So now I'm going to take my snips, my needle nose, dip and clip. I got my peroxide. I'm going to try to get some of these dead branches off because we had a good rain. So I have to see what's going on in here, so I'm going to just cut back so we can see what's in here. No, I'm not going to do the roots first. I believe in just doing the tops first, because then you can see what you're doing. So I don't know. Let me get this in closer so you can see what I'm doing. There's the trunk. Cut some of this dead and dying foliage off. It's real wet. What I try to do is I try to copy the soil that it's grown in, because if it's grown in this type of soil, and it's easier to overwinter outside, so I don't have to worry about anything else about watering it that often. But you can see the trunk, a lot of dead stuff here. So hopefully I can get this repotted in the video. So I'm gonna just cut off some of these branches so we can see what's in here. A lot of dead stuff, but Roy got it on sale, so let's see what we can do with it. Give it a shot. There we go. So we got some downward facing branches and some branches inside here. If you got good work to get into, these needle nose are good because they can get inside these branches and you can clip what you can't see. Now here's a dead and dying branch, so we're going to take this off. And that just pulled right off. We're going to take some of the inside stuff out, branches out, stuff. Easier for you to understand than me. See some of the dying stuff. Branches. Stuff. What are you going to do? There we go. This is going to be really hard to get into. A lot of A lot of dying. But we got to clear it up so we can see what's in here. So right now, we got a lot of this dying stuff off. Now, I'm not going to take too much off because there's a lot of soil on this. So you can see that the bark is splitting. So now I'm not going to take this branch off because I wanted to cover that part of the tree. Now I can have this bottom one off, as if we take that bottom one off, at least we're going to have something some structure here. So we're just going to get in there and take it off. Don't be afraid to cut. Now this is all done. We could, if we take this branch off, then we'll have a nice flowing structure this way. So I think that's what I'll do. Just like that. And Tom, don't go bumping into your stuff. Don't forget, when I record it live, I don't edit it or nothing because I have no way of editing anything. So what you see is what you get. Take that piece off. There we go. Now into here, if we take this off, we'll still see a lot of structure. So I'm going to cut this and get it off so we can see some of the trunk. Like that. I can take this downward branch off. Now these should back bud pretty good. So at least we can see some of the curvature of the trunk. Everything looks looking good over here. This part I can leave hanging over. Some of the branches that are coming down, we'll just cut it. Rinse the shears off. Now this is a good time to prune your trees. They say for evergreens it's like in July, from my research. I guess because the sap comes up, and when the sap comes up, you can seal the wounds with your finger with the sap. So it'll cover the wounds up real nice, and it's an all natural fix. Now let's see what we can get into here. Let it air out so we give it a little space. Just like that. Here's a dead piece here. So I'm going to take this piece off right there so we can air it out the pads a little bit. And if I take this piece off, it might look pretty good. It should look pretty good. A lot of clipping to do. But we're going to have to remove a lot of root. Now this piece here is getting yellow, so I'm going to just take that off. See, it pulled right off. And here's some more in here that I can pull off, especially on the inside. There we go. Just use your fingers. Whatever's loose is gonna fall off. I'm gonna take this guy off, just like that. So now we got the makings of a little tree. And if you can see this way, it's like a nice little setting for someone to sit down. We can just keep it out this way. Now here's a branch on the inside we can pinch off. We gotta get some air into here because it's really clustered. Get the pads. A lot of people will say, Tom, why don't you just edit it and do it? Well, if I do that, then you don't know what I'm doing. And I don't have editing means, anything like that. I just got a little tablet, and that's all I need. What you see is what you get, just like in the old days, live TV. They made a mistake, they ad-libbed. And you had some good comedians back then. You know, remember, today is comedy night. And right now I'm listening to a lot of good old-time radio shows of Fibber McGee and Molly, and they're pretty good. You gotta laugh. McGee really comes up with some good one-liners. And Molly, she stands behind them. They're pretty good. Now, if you want to listen to some fights, you can listen to the Bickersons. They're always arguing about something. There we go. A little bit something green. We want some foliage there for everything to turn out. Let's see, in here, maybe we can move some of this out inside the pad here. See if I can just pinch it out. There we go. Some more dead stuff comes right out. There we go. Air it up a little bit. Take this one out right here. You want to give it some breathing room, so to say. There we go. I think that should be pretty good. Although this pad here, we wanted to get some air into here. So we'll just snip right there. And into here. This, we'll just get some of these on the side growing down, just like that. There we go. Get the inside. We can get this piece out right there. Well, that one I have to cut. Didn't break off as easily as I thought it would. There we go. Got a little breathing room here. And remember, just take your time and do it. I have to work fast because I'm on camera, so we got some breathing room there. Take some of the insides out. Now this tree can breathe. Get some of this downward branch structure growing down out. There. This one inside there, so we get some room into the pads. Right here. Little something different. Okay, so now we can see the trunk, so let's start working. Oh, I know you can see the pot that I put inside, so I can see what I'm doing. Now, there's the roots. They're nice and wet. So, a lot of bugs, but what are you going to do? It's an outside tree. Well, I, for the life of me, don't know what I did with my root rake or my back scratcher rake, because I've been using this pouch to work on things outside. But what are you going to do? So what we're going to do is just, because this is all conglomerated here, I'm going to dig in, cut, dig in, cut, dig in, cut. Just like that. Try to make a nice round cut. The reason why I'm doing this is because this is a gigantic root ball, and to get all this off, and the roots are so congested together. There we go. Just cut. Now these are my I'm using these just for pruning roots, because that way there, if the blade gets dull, I can always resharpen it. You always got to have your tools on the side for pruning roots. There. So let's see what that does. Just pull it back like a bottom piece of layer cake. Just like that. get that out. So, get all these roots down the best we can. Got a nice piece of root system here. Now I'm not going to take cuttings because I have no room right now. The yard is still being worked on. So I'm just going to do that. Okay, Tom. You ain't got a root rake? Use your fingers. What are you going to do? Just get in there and get after them roots. Now, these roots don't look like they're there. Because we want to get it in a good pot. And see if it'll recover. And then I'll put it in my microclimate for a good 2 weeks. And the reason why I'm doing it now, it's early in the morning. The best time to repot is early in the morning or late in the evening, early evening. So the tree doesn't grow into shock. And this looks like they just got a standard soil mix or something. Not much there for drainage. I need a root rake. Let me get my toolbox here and see if it's in here any place. Well, that's why I'm cleaning up. I can't find nothing. What are you gonna do? And I thought I put the root rake here, but no, I was working outside. That's alright. We gotta keep moving. It's 16 minutes into the video. I know you guys got work to do. Unless you're watching it in the evening so you can sit back and relax with a cup of tea. That's what I usually do. Watch the videos, have a cup of tea, and enjoy them. And you learn from what everybody does. There. I don't know. Tom, you're always forgetting something. So, it has to go into this pot. And we have to cut more off of it. Okay, so can I stretch? No, my root rake ain't in there either. Tom, what are you gonna do? Okay, let's just get in there. Just fire your hands in there and work on it. No matter what. So, Tom, you should have done this outside. You're getting your workshop all dirty. Oh, what are you gonna do? That's life. So, this root ball is really tight. So I'm gonna cut some more off. Right there. So I can fit it in. There's really no downward facing roots on this that I mean there is, but we cut a lot of that off. I know I don't have water to soak this in, but a lot of downward facing roots here if you can see it. There we go. A mess is a mess is a mess is a mess. So, just tease it with your fingers. You got a nice radial root over here if you can see it. Right there. But I'm just gonna use my fingers as a root rake to get most of this roots. Just get in there with your fingers, get in there with your thumbs. There's a nice root coming out, but it's going down, so I don't want it to go radially. There we go. And you know, it's summertime. Start looking at garage sales. You might find yourself a good little turntable for cheap. Well, good Lord, look at this. This is really knotted in there. So, Tom, let's cut. Yeah, I gotta clean up. Cut the sides so we can fit it into the pot so these roots can grow out. See, cutting into sticks or whatever they got in here. And by trimming the foliage first, it's better because then you can work on the root system easier. There was a downward facing root there, so I got that cut off. See it? There. So black on a blackboard ain't no good. There we go. Got a nice root coming out this way. So, let's see if it'll go into our pot real nice. So we don't want to do too much work on it. So I think, let's see. I think this way would look better as a front. So, let's get all this out of here. Let's put our tree in the bottom. Let's get our soil. And I, for the life of me, can't find my measuring cup. So, we're going to use what God gave us, hands. I'm just going to pile it in. This is my soil mix with the sand and the bark and the peat. So that should be pretty good. These pots have screens on them already. Just going to put a little mound in the middle there and get our tree in. Now we can put this as our front. I think that would look better. Like this. Nah, I like the other way better. Just like that. Get everything in like that. That should be good. Take a little bit of this off the bottom here, just a little bit more. Cutting the bottom part right there. So we got a little bit flatter root base, but before I do anything else, I'm going to give it a lot of micus in here because we did a lot of root work. Just like that. And I'll take our azus and put it in the bottom. And we'll squirt our roots real good with it. We want the beneficial bacteria to give this tree a chance to grow. We had a good rain all day Saturday and some Sunday. Just a little drizzle, but it was cloudy all day. I think Friday too it was raining. And all day Saturday, so there's all our micus and azus on there. And this will be our front. Get it in. Leave the top exposed so the roots can grow and dry out a little bit on the top there. There we go. Get a little bit of, let's see now, we're not too far off in the pot. We'll go about here. Just like that. We'll take our azus and hit some of the roots on the sides here. There we go. And I should have enough soil in here to put it in. Yeah, I've been watching Fibber McGee and Molly the last couple of nights. Well, not watching, listening to the old radio show, and they're pretty funny. I like some of the old Christmas shows too that they did. They're funny like you wouldn't believe. There you go. Get that soil into the roots. That sand will help it drain in. The wood will help for drainage also. Yeah, just like that. Don't be afraid. If you're afraid, you'll never get nothing done. It's trial and error. I killed a lot of trees, but it's trial and error. What are you going to do? You got to learn. How are you going to learn if you don't try? You can watch me. You can watch every one of my videos, but if you don't do it, you're not going to be able to make a tree. You got to do it. Sure, you can buy the expensive ones, but if you do that, you never try with a little one. And why kill a big one first? Work on the little ones. That's the only way you're going to learn. There, just like that. Now we have to see, get all these air pockets out. Just like that. And I'll take my chopstick and just hit it in. Just like that. Use your fingers. Push it in. Push it in. Push it in. Push. 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 There. Just like that. Get it in there. Don't be afraid. If you're afraid, you'll never learn. There, just like that. Yeah, get yourself a nice cup of tea. Sit down in your favorite chair. Relax to some old-time radio shows. Now, that's when comedy was comedy. Now it's, I don't know, it's goofy comedy to me. I mean, there's some comedians that are good, but a lot of them are, I don't know, if they don't tell a dirty joke, then it ain't a comedy. But Fibber, McGee, and Molly, that's one of the great classics. There we go. We got the little mound on the top. Just like that. Now, Tom, what'd you do with the lipstick? Aha! We got our gold lipstick because... Okay, let me just chop there to make it flat. But on the back, you can see that big cut over here. So all I'm going to do is take the lipstick, if you can see the cut, and just hit it. I just don't want no water running into there. The other ones look pretty good, but I can give them a dab. Remember the old Brill Cream commercials? A little dab will do ya. That's going back in the day. That's when everybody had their hair slicker down. Okay. They had their hair so slickered down the wind wouldn't even blow it. Okay, so that's our little tree. Now, spray bottle, so we can get all the surface tension out. And then we'll give it a good water and see how much of this settles in. And then I'll put it in my microclimate. There we go. Just like that, we'll get Pinkie Pie over here because she's got a nice little watering spout. And she'll get all this into the root systems. And Pinkie Pie helps us out. And then we'll get Mr. Elephant, her dad. Oh, here we go, Mr. Elephant. And he'll give us a good watering. Nigel, if you're watching, I sent you a Mr. Elephant. So you can have. Nigel's a good guy. He's the one that I started out watching bonsai with. Then you got Blue Jay. Then you got Let's Do Bonsai. Then you got Maybe Bonsai with Zen. There we go. Then you got SNC, Spencer and Cole. There's Deb from Bonsai Girl, G-U-R-L. But everybody's good. And you got Bonsai Gardens with Mark Sanders. Mark, I hope you're feeling better. There we go. Just get it in. Make sure everything is in. I see a little bit of dip over here. Get it into the edge. And you can see how this water flowed real nice. Real nice. Now, what do we have that we can stick in here? Well, take your fingers, wipe the pot. I got rubber gloves in my pouch, but there we go. Now, what can we stick under this tree to give it a little more appeal? Now, since that's up in the air, we can make a little water. I think just on the edge there. Well, you don't have to do that, but who says that you just have to see the tree to enjoy a bonsai? The tree is the main attraction, and these are his, how would you say, his little helpers to keep the show going. His extras. There we go. Just like that. And just something plain and simple. Oop, I got this big piece of rock here. And line it along the side. And by putting a rock in there, it helps conserve moisture too. I mean, it'll dry, but... And with this soil, it doesn't dry out as fast as regular bonsai soil. And that's good during this hot weather. So you don't have to water it that often, but it still drains good. There we go. That's on our little island. And you'd be surprised how the red dragon is growing with all this rain that we had these last couple of days. It's growing good, and I put the moss on there, so the moss is looking pretty good. There we go, just like that. Just something different. And then, it's like on a little island, that's all you want. Now, let's cover up our soil mix. And I'm going to have to go to Walmart and get me another measuring cup, because what I do with the measuring cups, I have no idea. Okay, now I got my other spoon. We can just have it as a little scene. Somebody's sitting there. I found my spoon. And we're just going to stick it over here. A little sandy beach. A little spot where this tree grew. There we go. Just like that. I know the wind is gonna, the rain will probably knock a lot of it out, but just for now, you can always replace it with the sand. And what's torpedo sand is a coarser sand, so it helps a lot with drainage. That's why I like it. Okay, come on. We'll use Pinkie Pie on the edge here. Get in the sand. There we go. Just like that. See? Don't be afraid. Remember, give it a try. And if your landscape don't turn out, so what? You're trying. Landscape is easy to erase. Take it off and redo it. But just like that. Something for somebody to sit under and relax. Walk across, sit under a tree in the shade, and you got it. So, thank you, Roy. We got a nice little tree that you wanted to make for yourself. So hopefully this will turn out nice. We'll give it a good little rinse on the top. Get all the soil off. Now this branch here, I don't think is doing it justice because it's hanging down. So, a little snip. There. Now we got some wide open spaces. There we go. I don't know if you can see it, but there you go. That's our tree. Our tree of the unknown. So if you think you know what it is, let me know. It might be a blue rug juniper, and it might not. When they got no names on it, when they got some no names, good English, Tom. Well, what are you going to do? Just go for it, and that's all you can do. I have no bridges. Do I have... I have me. Let's see. Let's see what have we got in our little... There we go. We're going to get Mr. Squirrel here. And he can sit under the tree here. And there we got our squirrel under the tree. How do you like that? Okay, everybody. So, remember, it's comedy night. Pick your favorite comedy radio show. Jack Benny, Burns and Allen, Red Skelton. There's so many. Fibber, McGee, and Molly. That's what I'm watching tonight, and I'm going to have a good cup of tea and watch them because they're pretty good. I mean, they're funny like you wouldn't believe. I like Mr. Oldtimer and the little girl that comes by. He calls Fibber Johnny when he comes in, and Molly he calls sister or daughter, something like that. Hello, daughter. So you guys take care. Have a good day. Ooh, 36 minutes. Longest I ever been. Take care, everybody. I don't want to take up your time. Have a good night.